What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the How I'm Feeling podcast. I really hope you guys enjoyed last episode. In this next episode, I have a close friend and mentor of mine, Alan Palos. Alan is an entrepreneur, businessman, and somebody that can just flat out network. And I thought he was a brilliant person to have on this podcast because I don't know about you, but networking and talking to people is not one of my strong points, and he helps me with this on the daily. So if you want to learn how to build better connections and networking for your business, or you just want to be a better entrepreneur, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show because Alan drops a lot of gems. Enjoy, guys. What is going on? Alan, my man.
How you doing?
Pretty good. Welcome to the How I'm Feeling podcast, man. I'm glad you were able to take some time out of your day to do this with me, man.
Glad to be here.
I got my special setup. I don't know if you can see behind me. It's kind of hard, but I put my Funko Pops out just for you.
I saw you could tell you're new to the game.
So yeah, man, let's dive right into it, man. Explain to us a little bit about you, your childhood, your upbringing, so that when we go and get into what we're going to get into, people can understand a little bit about you and where you come from.
I'm Filipino. My parents were immigrants coming here to the United States. I grew up like in a really deep-rooted Filipino household, but I didn't have very many Filipino friends. So growing up, I knew I was Filipino, but then I didn't really grow up with that many Filipinos. So I guess in nature we're a lot more, we're shy and we don't really talk. Or I'm so the total opposite.
Before we go any further, I just wanted to let you guys know that this podcast is sponsored by JDM Creative Visuals. JDM Creative Visuals is a modern day production company that's built to inspire, uplift, and motivate every single individual through quality and captivating content. And so, when did you realize that you had a really good and unique ability to network and use your mouth to get success?
Really realized that till late in my life. I would say around in my 30s, just because for me it was so natural, and I thought that it was normal. So, literally right out of high school, 18 years old, me and my buddies started promoting nightclubs in Hollywood. So we tried to go to a nightclub when we were 18, and we had to wait in ridiculously long lines. And then by the time we got to the front, they're like, "Oh, it's sold out." So then we're like, you know what? Forget about this. Let's go to do it ourselves. So at 18, we started doing 1,000-person parties. Like it was 1,000 people a week. Like from 18 to 22, I literally had a nightclub 3 days a week with a minimum of 700 people for each one. Our biggest one, it was called the Rewind at the Arena. We had 1,000 people every single week for 5 years in a row.
Wow.
And that was just one event. Wow. And I was doing that from 18 to 24. And for me, I thought it was normal, So, we would network with, at the time, there was no such thing as Spotify, Apple Music, or anything like that. So radio was really big, and promotions for artists was all on the radio. So then we would work with record labels. We would get people to perform at our nightclubs. We had everybody from Jay-Z to Destiny's Child to like all the top artists in the late 90s and early 2000s. They would come and perform at our venues, and we weren't even 21. We couldn't drink. But we were organizing these crazy events and stuff, and I had no idea that it was special or whatever, But we were doing these crazy things, and it just ballooned from there. I guess I learned a lot of the stuff that I know today because of that. I ran the promotions team. So for me, like leading a group of 100 people across across Los Angeles, was nothing. Like I just thought like, okay, this is what you're supposed to do. I didn't know it was a special gift. I didn't know that, okay, like I'm getting these kids to pass out flyers at 1 a.m. at all these different places around Los Angeles.
Why is networking and forming relationships so important?
Um, I see it as twofold. First of all, like I don't really picture it as networking. I just like making friends and stuff. So I guess that's the whole networking aspect of it, because I just like to meet people and see where I can fit in, or if I can help them with their businesses or whatever they're doing. And it might not even be a business, It might be they're doing a podcast, or they're aspiring to be something that they didn't go to for, So like I just naturally like to help people, and I think it's important because you don't have to really do anything by yourself. And there's a lot of knowledge and learning from other people's mistakes. So if and there's not a lot of people that are like that, and there's people that like to learn by themselves. I believe you are one of those people, or you started out being like that. And it looks like you're learning from a lot of people now, but it's different personalities. But for me, naturally, I just like to help people. So that's my first initial reaction. I'm not looking at someone and being like, oh, this guy can help me by doing this, and this. Like I look at somebody like, okay, he's trying to do this. How can I help him with his goal?
So, from your recollection, when can you remember the first time you really formed a relationship and it benefited you or your business? Like that first person or brand?
Like professionally or personally?
Yeah.
Professionally. I would have to say, well, it's a long story. Well, I can make it really short. The Black Eyed Peas used to come to our clubs back in the day, before like they even made music and stuff. And then everyone just saw them as a bunch of weirdos that like to dance and stuff. Do those cypher dances in circles, and just dance all the time. I personally would let them into the club all the time. Like, whatever, man, I think these guys are cool. I just thought they were cool dudes, like they were a little different, but I just thought they were cool, and I thought they brought a different element to the clubs and whatsoever, So every time I saw them at line, I would pull them out of line, like, hey, get in, go have fun and stuff, So it just grew into a relationship, and I would say, let's just say like 4 or 5 years, and my timeline might be wrong. 4 or 5 years later down the line, they go and they release all these albums, they get super big, and we got to pay them $20,000 to perform at the club.
Things change real quick, right?
Real quick, but I mean that $20,000 is actually a really good hookup price. This is back in the late to mid '90s, and Fergie wasn't in the group still yet. But I like every time I see them to this day, like we chat it up once in a while, when I see them, and that's a pretty cool relationship. Like they were nothing compared to what they are right now. But if you're just cool with people, and it doesn't hurt me to be nice with them, So that's a pretty good story where I guess networking like helps you. Like I didn't initially look at it as like how are these guys gonna help me, like I just thought they were cool. I thought that when you talk to them, they're down to earth people. So cool, I'm gonna help you out,
Yeah, and I've heard you a couple times say you just want to make friends with people and you want to help them, and I think that says a lot about you. Where did that kind of come from, where you decided that you were going to put other people before yourself?
I think it's embedded in me. My mom was a lot like that. So my mom used to help the community all the time. Like, and I never really saw that until like I went with her to the Philippines and I saw a different light. You know what I mean? I really didn't realize that. Oh shit! Like I guess I was looking. Oh, sorry, supposed to cuss or not? But I saw I saw a lot of the things that I was doing and the things that my mom was doing too, and it was there were similarities. So I think that's I get a lot from it, a lot of that from my mother, and I think it's more embedded in me. Like I didn't have to go and make a conscious effort in my mind to be like, oh, I'm just gonna help. Like I think I'm just a dot connector to help people. That's just who I am. I'm not there to look at like, okay, I'm gonna go and how can this guy make me money? Like I never think like that, and I've told you, if people don't know, like me and Jamal have gone back. I wouldn't say a really long time, but we've had a lot of good conversations with each other for a good at least 2 to 3 years now. And I don't know if you remember what I always told you, like show them before you ask them.
Yeah.
So
I remember.
So like I like to show people what I can do before I'm gonna ask them with my hand out. I don't even really ask with my hand out. Usually people just like, hey, you want to, because they already know what I could do or they've heard from other people what I do. So I guess that's just something that I have adopted in my own life. And there's been people like that I've helped that, you can say that they forgot how I helped them, but I mean, I don't picture it like that. They're just and I just see it as, okay, they're successful now. It's cool. And that's cool. That's cool to me. I'm happy to see where they're at, but I'm never out to look for a handout. There's a lot of people that you can help out, and there's in any business. There's a lot of business. There's business everywhere. If that's what you're interested in doing.
Yeah, and so like for those that are new to business or struggle with making relationships, right? What are some tips that you can say to help them out that they can hear and implement so that they can be better at forming relationships with people?
I would say number one, listening. So listening is probably the best thing. But when you're listening, you also have to know what your overall goal is. So I listen to everybody, but then I know where I'm trying to get to, and I know that like some of the don't know the context what like trying to get to. So you have to listen and know what the tidbits to take. Like that's number one, and number two, you have to always be willing to learn. So I'm open to learning all the time. Like the crazy thing is I look at a lot of your posts now and I'm like, okay, like a lot of your posts that kick me in the ass and be like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like it helps to remind me of the small things that become the big things. So I even look at stuff like like just for example, like the stuff that you're doing or the things that you say, and it's inspiring to me. I'm supposed to be the teacher, but sometimes the student becomes the teacher, they say, and it's totally true. So you have to look at, you have to be willing to learn, number one, and number two, you have to listen. I mean, I think those are the two biggest things.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that.
Why do you laugh?
Yeah, man, I appreciate that, man. I know.
No, it's not funny. No, it's just
No, it's not funny. No, it's just funny how you put things out.
People aren't seeing it, or people aren't inspired by it,
or people aren't inspired by it.
So this is why people always say, keep going, don't stop, keep putting what you're doing out.
Keep putting what you're doing out. Your own stuff? Is that what you're referring to?
Oh, just in general. I mean, it's not just about myself,
it's not just about myself,
me as a business owner and a person.
Me as a business owner and a person.
I put things out, and sometimes you feel like it's not being seen, or it's not valued,
It's not
so
valued,
you hear people tell you that it feels good,
people tell you that it feels good,
But your stuff is really like, if you really read the stuff that you let out, and it's really inspiring. But the biggest thing is, like, if you look at like people that don't know like your journey, like you've done a lot of listening too, and you used to be really stubborn at what you used to think and what you used to do, but you can tell that like you've grown, and I'm happy to see that growth in you. So yeah, people really need to do those types of things.
Yeah, no, for sure, man.
Yeah,
And
no,
what would you say
sure, man. And
is
what
the
would you say
closest relationship thus far
is the
that you
closest
formed with
relationship
somebody?
thus
You know,
far
it's not
that you
about
formed with
money. It's not
somebody?
about.
It's not about
It's just
money.
about a
It's not
relationship
about.
that you have
It's just
that's
about a
close to your
relationship
heart.
that you have that's close to your heart.
Well, has to be my wife, right? I think she's gonna come with a bat and hit me if I say someone else. No, it has to be my wife. Like you know, she inspires me to be better. She like checks me when I'm being stupid. Like she's brave enough to tell me that, hey, you're fucking up. Um, it's definitely my wife. Like, and I think that's really important that it's your significant other isn't just a yes man. Um, like they need to tell you like, hey, you're fucking up, or you need to be doing something different. Or you need to watch out for this person, or you need to watch out for that person. So I definitely have to credit my wife, um, and really checking me when she sees, you know, because she watches from afar. She really doesn't understand what I'm doing, like fully, but then, you know, she can get a good read on people or get a good read on what I'm doing, and she has no shame in telling me, like pulling me aside and be like, hey, stop doing that.
Yeah, no. I mean, we both are dating Latinas, man. They're spicy. You know, they'll check you. They'll let you know how they feel at any given moment. And that's what I love about, you know, my fiance, and what I like about your wife as well, from the time I've spent with her.
Yeah, definitely. So it has to be them. I mean, I spend my most time with them, other than my kids and stuff, and it. I think we complement each other really well.
Nice. So, like, you were building a lot of your connections and friendships and relationships at that era in the 90s face to face. You know, now there's a lot of digital stuff going on. How can people make relationships and networks digitally now with the platforms that are available?
Um, I think it's always just doing work, you know. Like some of the offline conversations that I had with you is just do work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you're doing good work, when you're doing work without like intending to get anything in back, you know, when your intentions are, I'm going to help people, and I'm going to put out good work. Like there's people that need that type of things. So especially when you're doing things and you have no credibility to go up to big clients and be like, oh, let me get your social media budget for 2021. Obviously they're going to be like, okay, let me see the work you've done. And I mean, what are you going to do? Are you going to show them, are you going to show them a bootleg commercial you made, which might be cool, but you know, like there's a lot of brands, there's a lot of up and coming brands that need help. Like you can go and you can look on you can just look at the ads that do like. So let's just say that you're into working out and stuff. Like there's all these the top dog is probably that hypervolt massager thing. You know, all you have to do is look at their competitors, and if you look at people that are less than doing that, then just hit them up. Hey, I want to make a video with your thing. Like Jamal and I have had conversations about this all the time. You know, like there's always somebody coming up. And when they're coming up, they don't have somebody like a digital marketing person or a video person or whatever you want to get into, you know, like let's just say you're in sales or or into styling or whatever. There's always people that don't have those types of people because they don't have the budget to do it or whatever. I mean, that's how you build your portfolio.
And a lot of people are like, think, have monetary gains in their minds, or that their time is valuable, so they think like, why do I need to work with this up and coming person and I'm not getting paid?
Yeah, I'm not saying that you have to do it this way, because there are people that go about it and they get the monetary compensation right off the bat, you know. But in general, that's like 1 out of 200 people that do that. So I mean, you could strive to be that 1 out of 200 people and get the one client every 3 months, or you could continue to work and then hone your craft, because you'll only get better. You could picture it as, oh, I'm working for free, or you can picture it as, oh, I'm working to get better. And you, like, for example, you in the digital space and producing and making videos and stuff, your videos 2 years ago are nowhere compared to the videos that you make today, and that's just. But then it would be the same if you just, from in that same 2 year span, if you only did 2 videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I got paid really big on one video and I'm happy about it, and I'm not going to work anymore until I get another paid gig. And there's people that do that, and that's all. That's fine for you, But for me, I like to be busy, regardless if I'm helping somebody or not. Like, I like to get busy because I like to stay busy because I believe that it makes me better.
Interesting.
At what I'm doing.
Interesting.
And I'm not looking at it as okay, this guy will introduce me to this guy, and then like my whole network will change like 100%, or like 1 through 100 people. I'm not looking at it that way. I'm looking at it as honing my craft. I'm learning through everything. Like right now I'm helping somebody that makes homemade salsa. I'm charging them like 900% less than what I normally, or 90% less than what I normally would charge people. And it's just because I have all this time right now, and what's the point of me charging like so much money, and I know that they don't have the money to afford it. I can refer them to somebody else, or I could just do it myself because I have the time to do it. Okay, I'm gonna help you market this homemade salsa.
Yeah.
What do you need? You need packaging. I minimally know packaging, so you know what? I'm gonna work.
Yeah, no, that's a mindset that a lot of people, I think, need to learn to adopt that are listening to this podcast. That's just, you're having fun, you're enjoying what you're doing, and you're spreading love, and you're helping people, most importantly.
And I get it. If you're busy, then okay, I get it. But if you're sitting at home playing Call of Duty or just doing nothing, like, what's the point? Like, I could be a better Call of Duty player, or I could be better at what I love and what I'm doing. I mean, that's your choice. Those are your two choices.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
Sure.
Alan, where do you see the world headed in the future with communication and how it's done? Do you see more apps and more digital things coming, like how we're doing this podcast digitally? Or do you think as we advance, we'll go back to face-to-face being the strongest form of communication?
Okay, I think business-wise, I think everything is going to go to digitally. Everything is going to go digitally, but I think everything is going to go artificial intelligence, so AI. So, for example, like I think like 5 to 10 years from now, you're just going to be telling Alexa what to buy for you. Alexa, I need some milk. And then milk will come to your door. Like it'll be delivered to you. I think that's the space. So business-wise, I think it's a really big gray area, because you have to be careful, because a lot of what I see is a lot of the younger generation, they miss the whole interaction thing. So they can make great emails. They can have great meetings over like this, But then when you put them together face to face with someone, it's like
they don't know what to do, man. They don't have no game. People are dating and meeting people off apps now and swiping right, and it's like just go out and speak to somebody,
Yeah, my daughter is dating some kids and stuff. And then like she's like, he has so much to say on text message.
It's that we call it cyber game, Alan. Cyber, you know what I'm saying? They spit game cyberly now.
But the way that I see it, like, this is only gonna translate to business, because the people that can talk to people, they're the ones that are going to excel. So you have to know your craft, number one. But number two, you're gonna have to go in and sell your craft.
Exactly.
And it could be anything.
Exactly.
But there has to be a time where you have to sit face to face with someone and actually sell it. So if you don't know how to do that, but you have a really excellent product, you better find somebody to talk. that's your business partner or something, because I don't think that will ever. If you're going to spend $10 million on a product, you're going to meet face to face with whoever you're spending $10 million.
Eventually, right?
You know what I mean?
Eventually, right?
Yeah. And I think there's going to be a little bit of leeway because people are going to understand that some people don't have that face to face talk anymore. But I mean, it's gonna be pretty funny.
So I like to ask people that I interview or podcast where they see themselves in 5 years.
Okay, yeah. So
where do you see yourself in 5
recently
years?
I took all my.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
So recently I took all my my stuff down just because I felt like I was all over the place. So I'm like really laser focusing on the really big things that I like to do, which is marketing, branding, and experiential events. So I believe I'm going to be a leader in that space. So I'm getting ready to relaunch my site. I'm redoing my business licenses, and yeah, like that's pretty much what I'm gonna be focusing on.
Nice, man. Going out
and I believe in 5 years.
Going out and getting it, man.
In 5 years, I believe I'm gonna be a leader in that space. You know, like I think I was getting too much into production side and stuff, and there's people like you that like if I need production people, like I can just bring you along, you know. So that's my idea is like, for example, if I'm doing experiential events, but then people are going to want to film it, people are going to want to broadcast it, people are going to want to have pictures with it, you know. Like I'm not going to concentrate on that anymore. I'm going to be like, look, I have these companies that specialize in this, hire them. I just want to concentrate on the events. So that opens the lane up for, you know, individuals like yourself to come in and join in on the fun that I'm going to create, you know. Like
I want some fun.
Like,
I want some fun.
Yeah, I want some fun. I want to have some fun.
Yeah, I don't want to spread myself too thin anymore, you know. Like I just think that I need to concentrate on what makes me happy, and then bring in all of my all of my, you know, I would say my friends or my network.
Nice, man. And Alan,
nice, man.
Where can people in the community find you? Where can they connect with you? Where you at, man?
Where can they connect with you? Where you at, man?
All my social medias. It's my name at ALLENPALOS. I'm on Instagram right now. My website's gonna launch again probably in the next month. And I'll give you that. Maybe you could put it down here. This releases in a month or so, but yeah, that's pretty much. Connect on me through Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn.